It's usually hoped new year can bring a fresh start, maybe a bit of a reset. But some new data suggests that is not what's happening for Saskatchewan workers. So I'm joined now by Heather Haslam with ADP Canada. Heather, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for coming on. So the finding from ADP's latest Happiness at Work Index, Sask is very low down on the scale. Could you, I guess, start off by sharing the findings for us?
Sure. So the ADP Canada Happiness at Work Index is something that we go out with on a monthly basis, and we check on the sentiment of workers across the country. What we've seen for specifically workers in the prairies is a significant decline over the past few months. So if I rewind back to June, we were kind of at the top of the leaderboard. And now, as of the latest December numbers, our happiness has dipped down significantly to really the lowest in the country at 6.6 out of 10.
Okay, so what happened then? You mentioned last year, Saskatchewan and Manitoba leading in happiness, so much higher just a few short months later. Why the change?
Well, we look at a couple of secondary factors that really contribute to it. So we look at things like work-life balance, we look at career advancement, compensation, as well as rewards and recognition. And unfortunately, what we saw in the December numbers, and that have been continuing over the past few months, is a decline in all of them. The largest opportunity specifically for Saskatchewan and Manitoba workers is the opportunities for career advancement. That dropped down to 5.9, and that was the steepest decline.
Okay. And now, also in this report, there was something referred to as the time off tax. What's that about?
Yeah, the time off tax is what it is that we look at and ask workers across the country around how much time they have to put in extra before taking vacation as well as returning from. And so it's the burden of taking time off and what that looks like. Compared to pre-pandemic hours, it's significantly up. And what we're finding is that workers have to put in an extra 17 hours in order to take a week's off vacation. Oof. And so that's significant, and it's going the wrong way.
Certainly. Okay, so what can employers do then to change these happiness levels?
Good. So that's where the biggest opportunity is, and why I'm excited that you're asking that question. Employers have a tremendous opportunity if they look at the secondary factors and understand what it is that's driving happiness, because happiness impacts engagement. Happiness not only impacts how it is that we show up at work, but it contributes to the bottom line as well. So what can employers do? A couple things. First of all, encourage taking vacation. We found that less than a quarter of workers in Canada took their full allotted vacation last year. So that's a tremendous opportunity. And the question begs, why? Why the time off tax certainly is contributing to that, but what is it that employers can do to help that? Encourage taking vacation, making sure that there's backup, making sure that there's policies and procedures, making sure that the workload isn't too heavy. The other thing that I want to make sure that we nudge, specifically for workers in the prairies, is the opportunity to have people leaders sit down with their workers to understand what their ambitions are. If the career advancement secondary factor is the real driver, because that was the one that dropped the most, understand what your team needs, understand what their ambitions are, what support is required, and what skills need to be developed.
Okay, go on, get happy, Heather. Thank you so much for a little insight this morning. Heather Haslam, ADP Canada. We appreciate you coming on.
Thank you so much.